It's Sherry here with Hecate's Needle. Welcome to my craft room. Happy New Year. It is January 15th, 2026. Almost said 25. That's going to take a hot minute to get used to. And here I am with my first cross stitch update of the year. First off, I want to say welcome. Welcome to everyone who is here, everyone who has subscribed, not subscribed, just stops in for a minute to see what I've been up to. Everyone is welcome in my craft room, which has been put back to rights. We had an issue. If you follow me on Instagram, you have seen my issue. But anyway, let's get started. We are joined today by the lovely Artemis and her bestie, Jellybean. They are currently snuggled up together. And for those of you who do follow me on Instagram, don't worry, the blanket is out of range of any falling ceiling fans. But we'll get into that at the end. First off, let's start with cross stitch. Okay, cross stitch. I have been stitching quite a bit actually. I have a new start. I am waiting for fabric to begin another new start, but I'll get into that. And I have worked on 5 separate projects. I have been getting progress done on them though, so that's good. The first one I've worked on is housed in my little black kitty bag made by me. And it is Satsuma Street's 4 Elements. When it's finished, it'll look like that. Now, this one was a stitch along in, I want to say 2024, but I didn't do it as a stitch along because I started midway through, and I did not keep up with it. Could not keep up with it. The pieces are huge, but when you last saw it, it looked like that. Since then, I have put in 1,525 stitches, and that puts it at 55% done. And there it is. Now, what I did, I completed the earth section. We've got water, now we've got the earth section complete. And I have begun work on the air. But there it is. I love this project, I do. I'm somebody who doesn't mind block stitching. To me, block stitching is quick and easy. Mindless work that you can do when you're, watching a movie or whatever. But that's the 4 Elements by Satsuma Street. Okay, the next one I worked on is being housed in my little blue and white bag, also made by me. And this is one, it is my stamped kit. This is one that I was given to by my mother, who found it for like 99 cents, who knows where. She lives in Oregon, so I don't know. And the only information I have is this. So there's probably some no-name kit from China. That's all I can come up with. But it's just a vase of lilacs. I did make some progress with it. Now previously, I started this in like maybe 2023. But the problem is the canvas is so stiff that it hurts my arthritic hands to stitch it. But since my son got me the stand, I can work on it more. Now when you last saw it, it looked like that. And I know on stamp kits it's hard to see progress because everything is so bright and colorful. But anyway, here it is now. Previously, I had filled in all of this and this, and I've started working some in the lilacs. I'm color completing. I've filled in this, and currently I am working on filling in all of this background that's printed in yellow, but it's actually a pale pink. So I worked on that block. I actually put in 654 stitches, which puts this at 46% done. So, as I said, with the stand, it's much easier for me to work on this now, and I don't experience the hand pain that I did before, so I'm hoping maybe I can finish this year, since it is at almost halfway. But we'll see. The next one I worked on is being housed in my sea turtle bag, also made by me. All of these were made by me. I make most of my bags. This is a project everyone has seen because so many people have stitched it. And it is the Deadly Aquarium by Lola Crow. And when it's finished, it'll look like that. Now, I did not keep up with this because that was the year of the stitch along for me. You know, when all of my sanity deserted me. Honestly, I think what happened is that the frame was so big, it just overwhelmed me, and that was it. But I have made progress. When you last saw it, it looked like that. And now it looks like this. Now, previously, I had finished this little tide pool here, and now I've begun filling in this, and I'm going to work my way up until I have this whole section filled in. As you can see, this is where I finished threads that I had, because I do not park my threads. I finish a thread. I can't stand to have them dangling, and I'm just OCD. You park threads, that's great. I'm glad you can, but I can't. But anyway, I've started filling in this, and as I said, I'm going to work my way up until this entire section is complete, and then I'll move to the next section. I am not somebody who just wants to work on straight lines like this. If it's an intricate design, like in the Yasmin's Made with Love fruit garden series that I'm doing, that I don't mind. Not to mention that's monochromatic and I don't have the color changes, but when it's just a straight line with another straight line and another straight line, that bothers me. So as you can see, I filled in this one and got so bored. I just said, you know what, I'm going to do a title pool, and then I'll just fill them in as I go. But anyway, that's where I'm at now. I managed to put in 742 stitches, and that put it at 32%. So progress. I'm thrilled with progress. Any progress is good progress. And I do love this project. I think it looks so cool. This tide pool, it just looks amazing. I love it. And as I said, I'm filling this in, but you can already see things taking shape. So I do like it. I love it. I do enjoy stitching it when I spin the wheel and it lands on it. It's just been slow going for some reason, and I don't really know why. Other than, like I said, that was the year I decided to overwhelm myself with too many stitch-alongs. And then, of course, you get holiday stitching, gift stitching, and moving, packing and unpacking. That was also in the middle of that. So I slacked off, but I'm working on it, and I'm catching up. Now the next one I worked on is my new start, and it is being housed in my little rainbow kitty cat bag made by me. And this is a kit. I bought the threads, and it is Alice in Wonderland, and I love it. I love Alice in Wonderland. It is one of my favorite classics, and I don't mean the Disney one. I mean the actual book, story written by the author, Lewis Carroll. But anyway, I'm using all kit materials. It is monochromatic, all black. Now this one, I don't have a thread hanging. I just have a threaded needle on it. But this is my start. We have the beginnings of Alice. As I said, I'm using all kit materials. This is, I believe, a 14 count Aida, and it has been printed. I put in 751 stitches, and that put it at 3%. This was my birthday start last week, so I've only worked on it once, but not bad. 3%, I'll take it. And then the last one I worked on is being housed in my Halloween bag made by me, and it is a pattern by Forbidden Fiber Co. This was one of their mystery kits. This was also a Christmas gift for me from my husband. Not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before. And it is Where the Sunflowers Are. He got this one for me because he knows sunflowers are my favorite wildflower. So, now this one, when you last saw it, it looked like that. I had finished the roof and was just starting on the windows, but I managed to put in 1,100 stitches. That puts it at 41% complete, and here we are. Now I have finished the top part of the house, and I have begun working on the bottom part of the house. I love it. It's very pretty. Now the fabric is in here somewhere. I kept it. The fabric is a 16 count Aida in the color Babbling Brook. It is one of Forbidden Fiber's fabrics. The colors are theirs as well. Obviously, it's one of their kits. The color palette is lovely. Nice fall colors. And of course, they're all Forbidden Fiber Co. But I love it. I love it. And it's coming along nicely. As I said, I'm already at 41% done. So almost halfway there. Now, New Year's Eve, I did a whip parade, a finish parade, and a kitted up projects parade for projects that I want to do this year. Now, I have another one that I want to start that was not in that parade, and it is in my shiny butterfly bag made by me. And this is the one I'm going to do for my son, or this is one I'm doing for my son. It is by Ars Honorica, and it's absinthe. My son loves absinthe. I mean, that's his favorite, like, alcoholic beverage. I have kitted up the floss. Lovely colors. And I am currently waiting for the fabric. I did not have a piece of white Aida big enough for this one. This is a pretty sizable project. But I didn't have a piece of plain white Aida big enough for it. It is full coverage. So I'm just waiting for the fabric, and then I will be starting that one. Because like I said, that one's going to be a gift for my son. That's my progress. Not too bad. I've been stitching a lot, actually. I've mentioned before that generally when I wake up in the morning, I get up, I wake up when my husband wakes up, and he usually leaves for work no later than 7 a.m. And that's when I get up, get dressed, and then I just sit and stitch until I get my daughter up. Enjoy the quiet time. So I'm usually able to get in quite a few stitches before she gets up. And every day I've been spinning the wheel. Now you'll see, you'll notice a couple of these, like the 4 elements, I've already put in over 1,500 stitches. Well, that's because the wheels hit it twice. But it's working great for me so far. I'm making progress on these projects, and there are several that I'd like to finish this year, and I'm hoping to do so. And to that end, what I may end up doing is making some months monogamous stitching months. We'll just have to see how I feel. But anyway, that's my progress haul. I did get just a handful of things for Christmas and my birthday. For Christmas, my husband and daughter got me 3 fabrics, and they're just, there's Zweigart Artiste brand, which I think is Hobby Lobby. But they're just neutral colors. I've got a gray in a 14 count. Which is a nice dove gray, so it's good neutral. I have an ivory in a 16 count, again, good neutral. And then I have a plain white in 18 count. So I've got new fabrics. And then for Christmas, he also got me a small little kit, a Riola's kit. So cute. I love the little bat. He's adorable. And this is the acrylic wool. So he got me that one, and it's a small one. It's just 6x6. For my birthday, he got me a kit by Luca S. It's a mushroom, which I love. And this one doesn't look very big either. It comes with the hoop and everything, so another probably fairly quick project. that was my haul. That's all I got. Other than just a handful of flosses that I got when I ran out, and after kitting up my son's project, I'm probably gonna have to go get some more flosses. But that's okay. So that's it for cross stitch. My plans are to continue doing what I'm doing, just keep spinning the wheel I spin the wheel the night before, and then that way the project is already in my bedroom and I'm already set to go in the morning when I get up. So I'm just going to continue doing that. I am going to see how far I get on the 4 elements this month, because we still have half the month left. It's already at 55%. If I get it to 60% this month, then I may have a 4 elements February, so that I just monogamously stitch on the 4 elements until I finish it in February and then go back to spinning the wheel. But we'll see. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. But we'll see how much I get done this month on it. Otherwise, that's it for cross stitch. Yeah, that's it for cross stitch. Sewing. I have been sewing a little bit, not a whole lot, but I have been sewing. I did make myself a new shirt. It's currently in the laundry. I also made myself a new project bag. Bright, colorful little fishes. I love it. I love the bright colors. After the way this year has started, I needed something bright and happy. And so I made that. Crochet. I made a snail. And he's quite cute. I like it. My husband is still currently working on his stoat, Owen from Peek-a-Pow. But I haven't been able to crochet much. I have not begun crocheting my socks yet because, as I said, I have not been able to crochet much. I injured my hand, so I wasn't able to do so. But as for sewing, I've cleared my sewing desk. I have a little box that I have scrap fabric in that is currently waiting to be cut into pre-cuts for quilting, because that's typically what I do if I have cotton scraps, is I just cut them into pre-cuts and put them in boxes, organize them for my quilting. Typically I do not use kits. Now I do have our little crate of kits up there waiting for me to do, and I do have my Winnie the Pooh kit for my daughter, but those are exceptions, not the rule. Usually I just match the colors myself. But that's it. That's all I have for sewing. I have my projects. I have several projects cut out waiting to be stitched up, but I wasn't able to use my sewing machine for a few days, so I got behind on what I wanted to get done. But that's okay. It's my schedule and I can alter it if I want to. But that's it for sewing. That's all I've done. I do have some more project bags cut out, ready to be stitched up. And those don't take long. They really don't. But otherwise, that's it for sewing. Life. Life has been fun. As those who follow me on Instagram know, I came into my sewing room, I thought, last week. It was the day after, last Thursday. I came into my sewing room and I started pulling everything out of the closet there because I needed to organize that closet. Plus, I was also clearing off my cutting desk over there, and I had stacks of things in the floor that I wanted to put away. So I was pulling everything out of that closet so that I could reorganize it. And it got hot. So I turned on the ceiling fan. And maybe 5 minutes after I turned the ceiling fan on, the entire thing came crashing down. Straight for me, actually. The entire ceiling fan hit the floor. Unfortunately, I jumped backward to avoid being hit. Obviously, I didn't want the thing crashing down on top of my head. And tripped over the dog. Artemis took me out. And when I did, I fell backwards. Hit my head, my shoulders, and of course, what do you do instinctively when you fall? You reach out with your hands to catch yourself, which I did. Both of my hands are riddled with arthritis. So I actually ended up spraining this wrist. That is why I have not been able to crochet or sew as much as I wanted to. Cross-stitching, there were a couple days this past weekend where I couldn't, but my wrist is healed enough now that I can stitch again. I'm not going to be crocheting until probably this weekend, just to make sure my wrist had plenty of time to heal. Because my wrist, I have enough wrist pain. I don't need to add to it. But anyway, so the ceiling fan tried to murder me. Artemis was in on the deal. And I ended up, injured. So I wasn't able to get as much done as I wanted to. And then too, when the ceiling fan came down, so did the light. So I had no light to sew. Which is why I wasn't able to sew in here. But my husband, handy guy that he is, put in a new ceiling fan for me, a new light. I'm not touching that damn fan. I have PTSD now. I am terrified to pull a fan pull. I don't want it crashing down on my head. I trust him. I know he did it right, but it only takes one murder attempt for me to learn. Okay. So it may be a hot minute before I ever turn on a ceiling fan. Matter of fact, I'm driving him crazy. I actually called him into the bedroom the other day. Baby, could you come turn on the fan for me? He's like, you're right. I'm not touching that. He's like, all right. So it'll be a hot minute before I trust myself to pull on anything attached to a ceiling fan. I don't want it falling on my head. But anyway, so there was that excitement. I did have my birthday. I'm older than dirt. That's okay. It's all right. We didn't really do anything. We just went out to eat. I did not have a cake because I don't eat sweets. So I wasn't interested in a cake. But we did have some wonderful Mexican food. Oh, there's a cardinal outside. Okay. We did have some wonderful Mexican food. Mama didn't have to cook for a change, which was nice. I always appreciate that. Other than that, nothing's really been going on. Of course, it's only 2 weeks into the year, so give me time. I am a disaster, so I'm sure I can come up with something else. I do want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed. I do appreciate it. I am getting my charts that I've previously stitched together. I will be making some more project bags, so there may be some giveaways coming in the future. I'm not sure how soon in the future, but we'll see. I'm over 400 subscribers, so maybe something when I hit 500. If I hit 500, I can't believe I hit 400 or 300 or 200, so we'll see. But anyway, thank you to everyone who has subscribed. Thank you for those of you who just kind of pop in and see what I've been up to. Make sure no more inanimate objects have tried to murder me. But that's it. That's it for me. So I hope everybody has a wonderful year, and I will see you in a couple weeks.